Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
New York Times Business.
June 30th, 11:13 America, New York. Media companies expand health coverage after the Supreme Court abortion ruling. News organizations join other businesses that will reimburse employees who need to travel to access reproductive health care.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
June 30th, 10:14 America, New York. Singapore Central Bank reprimands crypto hedge fund 3 Arrows. Singapore's top financial regulator reprimanded cryptocurrency hedge fund 3 Arrows Capital, saying it supplied false information to officials and managed more assets than allowed. Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
June 30th, 10:05 America, New York. Mortgage rates drop after 3 weeks of increases. Mortgage rates declined this week but remain near multi-year highs, helping make it the least affordable time to purchase a home since before the financial crisis.
BBC News Business. June 30th, 10:04 America, New York. Halifax says pronoun badge critics can close accounts. The bank tells customers who object to pronouns on name badges they are welcome to close their accounts.
BBC News Business.
June 30th, 10:04 America, New York. Halifax says pronoun badge critics can close accounts. The bank tells customers who object to pronouns on name badges they are welcome to close their accounts.
Daily FX Market News. June 30th, 9:52 America, New York. DAX, Dow and FTSE fall as the quarter looks set to end in turmoil. Stocks slide as key psychological levels are broken. More downside to come?
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
June 30th, 9:48 America, New York. Walgreens profit shrinks after opioid deal, fewer vaccinations. The drugstore chain paid $683 million to Florida to resolve claims related to the distribution of prescription opioid medications.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
June 30th, 9:34 America, New York. Shiploads of Russian grain and good weather temper wheat crisis. Fine farm weather and a rush of Russian grain ships through the Black Sea have taken the sting out of global wheat prices, a welcome sign for vulnerable countries struggling with surging food costs. Armstrong Economics.
June 30th, 9:31 America, New York. Cassidy Hutchinson equals Amber Heard 2.0 equals perjury? The story of Trump lunging for the wheel appears to be total perjury. The Secret Service said they would testify, but were not called because Cassidy Hutchinson appears to be the new Amber Heard 2.0 as she is starting to be called all over the place.
New York Times Business.
June 30th, 9:22 America, New York. Income and spending rose less than prices in May. Consumer spending, adjusted for inflation, fell for the first time this year.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
June 30th, 9/11 America, New York. OPEC. Allies agree to boost output ahead of Biden's Saudi visit. OPEC and its allies agreed to boost oil production, endorsing a plan they announced earlier this month that has done little to alleviate concerns over supply ahead of President Biden's visit to Saudi Arabia in July.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
June 30th, 9:01 America, New York. U.S. jobless claims edged lower last week. Employers are holding on to workers as other signs suggest the economy is losing momentum.
Daily FX Market News.
June 30th, 8:55 America, New York. May core PCE at 4.7%, S&P 500 bruised despite better than expected inflation data. U.S. May core PCE falls on a year-over-year basis, cooling to 4.7% from April's 4.9%, but fails to improve market sentiment amid growing recession fears.
New York Times Business.
June 30th, 8:52 America, New York. Income and spending rose less than prices in May. Consumer spending, adjusted for inflation, fell for the first time this year.
Global economy.
June 30th, 8:43 America, New York. France wants to bypass Hungary for global corporate tax deal. Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire pushes for EU workaround to approve minimum tax rate for big companies.
The Library of Economics and Liberty. June 30th, 8:39 America, New York. My review of Stephen Kunin's Unsettled. His, Stephen Kunin's, book is full of important, factual information and insights. One of his main messages is that there is much more uncertainty about where the climate is headed than many climate scientists and even a higher percentage of people in the media are willing to admit.
BBC News Business.
June 30th. 8:13 America, New York. Post office scandal victims to get more money. More than 500 subpostmasters are to get an interim payment from the government worth around £40,000 each.
BBC News Business.
June 30th. 8:13 America, New York. Post office scandal victims to get more money. More than 500 subpostmasters are to get an interim payment from the government worth around £40,000 each.
Marginal Revolution. June 30th. 7:25 America, New York. What caused the 2020 spike in murders? I think there's clear evidence that the current murder spike was caused primarily by the 2020 BLM protests. The timing matches the protests well, and the pandemic poorly.
Daily FX Market News.
June 30th. 7:04 America, New York. US dollar latest. USD remains bid as risk markets continue to sour. The US dollar has broken higher in the last 3 sessions as equity markets turn south as risk on sentiment disappears.
Digital finance.
June 30th. 6:54 America, New York. Real-time payments. Naveen Gupta, Ripple, Vox CP. 32. Naveen Gupta argues why Ripple's solutions for cross-border real-time payments is reaching scale. The post real-time payments, Naveen Gupta, Ripple, Vox CP. 32 appeared first on Digital Finance.
Finance and Economics. June 30th. 6:03 America, New York. The allure of betting on mergers. A niche trading strategy is proving popular, and not just because of Elon Musk.
Global economy.
June 30th. 5:59 America, New York. UK trade performance falls to worst level on record in first quarter. Official figures corroborate academic studies showing sharp drop in exports since Brexit.
Finance and Economics.
June 30th. 5:46 America, New York. The case for strong and silent central banks. The second in our series on the central bank pivot.
Finance and Economics.
June 30th. 5:44 America, New York. What past market crashes have looked like. Capitulation, the last phase of a rout, can seem like a sort of mania.
Finance and Economics.
June 30th. 5:41 America, New York. The latest desperate attempt to prop up the Turkish lira. Recep Tayyip Erdoğan will support anything but raising interest rates.